Hello, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we're talking about raids. Are they too hard for you? Are you not even one-shotting, or I guess one-phasing the easiest bosses anymore? Well, here's why. Bungie made it where everything is a little bit stronger now. To be more specific, we are 5 levels under in basically almost everything now, or some. It's weird. So I don't know. It sucks. Yeah, you can barely get through these raids at LFG sometimes, and now it's gonna be even worse. So if you're someone struggling on LFG, if you're like one of those people who are causing the struggles, please just continue watching because yeah, this is important. First thing you want to do is you want to look at the weekly modifiers for all the raids. Right now we got Solar and Strand. That means you're going to be using DPS weapons that match that. For example, Whisper of the Worm is Solar. This Apex rocket launcher right here, that's Solar. If you got a good Cartesian, sometimes a Banshee at the tower sells it. If you got a good Cartesian, that's usually pretty good. Another thing you want to do is you want to level up. I mean, you can't just jump into a raid if you're just brand new anymore. Alright, just no more. You just can't do it. You need to fill out this artifact right here, get your mod selected, and just try to take advantage of everything you got in here. So far, I've been finding this one to be really good. Void sources deal increased damage to weakened targets. That's been really good for me. So even if you're in a scenario where you maybe don't have the best weapon that matches the burn, if you got something like a Void Super, yeah, you can really let that rip. And all characters can do it too, by the way. It's just a fragment here called Undermining. Your Void Grenades will weaken targets. It will take a chunk of your stats, but it's super worth it now. Especially if you're running something like a Vortex Grenade right here. Because that'll continuously damage the target as well. So you'll get the debuff and then increased damage just with that right there. And then if you're a Titan, for example, you can let this super rip right here, Twilight Arsenal. If you're a Warlock, you can let, you know, the Noble Bomb rip. And of course, Hunter, you know, the Tether already does the debuff, so that's pretty huge too. Plus, the debuff is better as well, so that might be worth running, honestly. Odious Quiver does pretty decent damage too, so you can always think about doing that if you're a Hunter, which apparently most Destiny players are now, so I mean. If you're a Hunter and you joined LG before, you'll probably hear something like Still Hunt and Celestial Nighthawk. Yeah, definitely run that for sure. Oh, sorry, I don't have it on me. It's the new Lightfall Sniper. Where is it? Here it is. I don't believe they nerfed it yet, at least. But Still Hunt is really good. It can do some damage, especially if you're a Solar Hunter. If you're other class, I mean, it's alright. I'm not the biggest fan of it, personally. But, like, it still does damage, you know, I still recognize that. There are some other Void weapons in here that are just kind of okay. It is Overload Swords, I believe, this season. And so I guess you can make great use of Black Talon if you want. I don't remember if they ever buffed it or not, but I mean, it's still a pretty fun sword. It shoots projectiles, like range projectiles and all that, so you might have some fun with that. You never know. Let's see, Leviathan's Breath, that's also Void, if you don't have that yet. I mean, that's already doing pretty chunky damage already, if you know what you're doing with it, so you may want to consider doing that. Tractor, of course, everyone should have Tractor. That applies the debuff we're talking about. And I believe they just buffed this one as well. It's still not that good for, you know, boss damage at least. Don't use it for that. But everything else, like mini bosses and whatnot, it's actually not too bad now, I don't think. Though you'll probably be too busy using this one right here for the stuff like that. I don't know. At least I found it to be pretty decent. But yeah, overall, generally just try to make sure you're leveling up. Actually make sure you fill this out and get the right artifact stuff. Ask people what other artifacts you should run, because you might not want to run exactly what I'm using. For example, this Argent Blade, if you're in a scenario, scenario for swords, or if you're stunning champions, right here you get a little bit of energy, and there's some other stuff here that you might like. So definitely keep an eye out for all that. Try to do some bounties, which I know bounties aren't the most fun thing to do, but at this rate, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, everything's such high level now too. I mean, where is it? I think it's the helm, right? Yeah, this right here, just the seasonal activity right here is 2005. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been playing since D1, and this shit was kind of tough. Not gonna lie. And I don't really think it should be that tough, or just like a standard, seasonal activity. This one over here isn't that bad. That's just, whatever. But this one, oh my god, and you have to like run around too. So like, if you just get caught off guard mid jump, you get sniped. There goes your health, bro. You're done. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, speaking of survivability, though, of course, all solar players, you can get healing grenade here. So definitely try to get that going, especially if you got benevolence on. Nope, nope. There it is. Basically, if you throw a healing grenade down for you and your teammates, at least for your teammates when they pick it up, it'll give you that and gives you increased ability regen. So, if you got a healing grenade, throw it down, you get it back faster. If you're a hunter, it's really good, by the way. I always like to use this with my hunter. You can do the radiant dodge on your teammates as well, so you're just constantly spamming radiant dodge and healing grenades. You just got that going out constantly. So that's pretty helpful as well. On Void, I believe all Void, like I said, Void is really good this season anyway. So you may want to consider getting this type of build going, where you pick up an orb, and oh, sorry, wrong one. Is it this one? Here it is. Yeah, picking up an orb gives you Devour. You may want to consider doing that. This type of build will chunk your stats a lot, but just having Devour constantly is just really nice because, again, it gives you your ability energy anyway, and also it keeps you alive, giving you health. You may really want to consider trying out a solid Void build now. There's some good stuff with that too, by the way. I believe one of the seasonal artifacts has it where, is it this one right here? Yeah, right here. You defeat weakened targets, you get some overshield. Yeah, that's not that bad either. Just more survivability on top of your survivability. You really gotta get that going. Radiant from orbs, also really nice. Though you gotta run solar for that, but that's still really nice to have. Just even more radiant, more damage going out. Excuse me. Not gonna lie. I mean, at least my teammate was having he was struggling with this, at least in the final shape raid. He was trying to use Bane of War, and oh god, I want to keep it real with you, my fellow Titans. It's just, is it really worth it anymore, man? I mean, it just doesn't keep me alive anymore. It doesn't keep my teammates alive anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have on top of everything if you're willing to run it, I guess. But if you're in a situation where you yourself, the user, are just struggling to survive, is there really a point? I don't know. Plus, like, I mean, the Prismatic Titan has the Strand Super anyway, which is, really good on its own. Especially on Transurge. And if you pair it up with stuff like, I don't know, Synthosubs or something, you kind of go crazy. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't really have a lot of survivability. I mean, there's Unbreakable, I guess, which, I run it anyway because it's really good. So, you do what you gotta do, I guess. But that's why I've been running for survivability on this subclass. And again, Void has great survivability, I mean, just overall for all classes, but on Titan, it's super good because, you get the Overshield Barricades. You got Unbreakable now if you're willing to switch out one of these for that. Yeah, it's just however you want to do that. Shield Throw also got buffed. I'm still not a big fan of it, but if you are, go ahead. You definitely may want to use that more often because it'll do more damage. And if you're planning on using Bubble, definitely use Helen Saint 14 so you get all the benefits of that. I still don't know if it's really worth it. I don't know. I tried it. It's just kind of like, eh. It actually does some chunky damage, not gonna lie. Like, just actually throwing the axes. Picking them up, usually not worth it unless you're in an ad clear situation. But for boss damage, I wouldn't really bother going out of your way to pick up the axe. Especially just gonna throw it. That doesn't really do anything. Let's just gonna keep it real with you. But yeah, besides that, it's pretty sick. I found this grenade launcher right here is actually pretty good as well. Actually, now I'm looking at it right here. I got auto loading vorpal, which it's not really that good for boss damage, but I just thought this was kind of cool just to throw down anyway. Honestly, I don't know. I might like it more than Witherhoard, honestly, because it shoots in a burst, so it's very just forgiving, if you will. It doesn't hurt you that bad either if you actually like splash yourself. Barely touches you really, but just the overall ad clear capabilities this has, even without a damage perk, is kind of crazy. I was just kind of like spamming this because it's got auto loading. It's just So if you need some good area control in your raids, I mean definitely consider throwing this on. Honestly, again, it doesn't have to have vorpal or anything like that. Just auto loading probably. Yeah, that's like the best perk ever for grenade launchers in my opinion. But yeah, just having area control is really nice, especially in the final shape raid on the witness as well. I mean, those screens can sneak up on you sometimes when you're trying to do the raid mechanic and all that shit. So you just throw that down and you're chilling for a little bit. Oh yeah, Fixed Caliper, if you got this leveled up and you're sleeping on glaives, well don't. I mean, this thing keeps you alive so much more often than you think it would. I mean, honestly, you're probably not going to be running this during like a DPS thing, unless you're like a double special head. I mean, definitely, But if you're not a double special head or you're too busy using Still Hunt, probably not. But yeah, it's still really good. I mean, I use it all the time, especially your Titan. Where is it? Warren God. Uh, it's the craziest thing ever. I'm not even gonna lie. Very good with Unbreakable too, by the way. Um, if you're looking for more survivability with Fixed Caliber, if you're blocking with Unbreakable and you just instead of letting it go the trigger, or sorry, not the trigger, the bumper, I guess for me at least, and you do your glaive melee, it keeps some of the energy. I think it works with all glaives and all that, maybe swords as well. I'm not sure, or just any melee. But if you're trying to keep your energy for survivability for that, definitely do that, or just let go early. It only takes half. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm pretty much done here. Enough rambling and all that. I think I said what I needed to say. Get your seasonal artifact up. Take care of these mods here. Use your healing grenades or your devour build, and you should be cooking. I can't stress enough that void supers are just honestly the way to go. If you just throw a weakened grenade down, I mean, if everyone's throwing down like weakened grenades and shit and supers, I mean, you're cooking. And of course, Celestial Nighthawk too, whatever. But I don't know, I think Void's awesome. I mean, anyway, that's enough. I'll let you guys go. Have a good one.